Um, Shelby said, I learned Hebrew in my 20s. It took 3 years. Now I'm learning Japanese in my 30s. Your videos have really encouraged me. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you so much. That's going to go to the camera fund because apparently my camera's not good enough. Man, other YouTubers have just raised the standard like incredibly high. We'll try to keep up with your help. Thank you, Jane. Camera fund, new camera fund. I guess a lot of people have a problem with my camera. Just sent $50, really? To me or that person who was in the chat scamming people? Be careful of those. I'm not giving you a laptop. Anyone who fell for the laptop scam, I don't do giveaways, so know that I don't have a Telegram, and please be careful of those. I try my best to delete them, but they send them daily. Monica, for the equipment, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate that. Wow, everybody wants me to get a new camera. All right, I'm going to do that for sure. You're going to sleep already? Okay, have a good night, Leon. We're going to continue talking about language learning and why I don't do self-study the entire time. And I don't really recommend that. Why don't I recommend that you do self-study 100%? Don't pay a single dollar for language learning. Well, with a language as hard as Chinese, Japanese, or Korean, I think it's necessary to have a teacher. If nothing more, have a language partner. That's where you could perhaps get away with it for free, but you're going to be seriously lacking in your keigo, your sonkeigo, kenjogo. If you do that, you might get very good at conversation, and I've seen people do that, but there's a hole in their language learning. It's not quite as well-rounded as it should be. Well, if it's 1 a.m. in Italy, I'll give you a break. You don't have to I won't keep you up. Bill is 56 and 6 months into learning Korean as a third language. Good for you. Good for you, Bill. It's not too late. How do the tones in Cantonese compare to Mandarin? So much harder. So much harder. Cantonese is easy for me in that I have experience with Mandarin Chinese, but gosh, the tones, I don't have those down right. Not at all. They're like, depending on who you ask, 6 to 9 tones in Cantonese, different tones, changing the meaning of the words. And it's hard, but at least I can read Cantonese very well because it's similar to Mandarin. Don't have to relearn the characters. They are quite the same, 95% the same. So we were talking about why I don't recommend continuing for your entire language learning, just doing it free by yourself. Maybe you can get away with that with Spanish, French, Italian, some of the languages that are more similar to English. Can't quite get away with it with Chinese, Japanese, and Korean, especially if you're not living here. And why do I say that? It's freaking hard. It's especially hard to write. So those I know that did get fluent in Japanese without a teacher, I don't think they write very well. If they were in a work setting, have to write a professional business email or write a report, they're not going to write it very well. They didn't have anyone to correct them. You know, with Chinese, I had to write my thesis. I went to school in Shanghai for my master's. It was taught in Chinese, and I had to write a thesis. And I was fluent in Chinese, very verbally fluent when I went there. And I could read and write. I could read books, definitely could read Harry Potter, some classical literature. Even I read The Count of Monte Cristo in Chinese. I read about 70 books by that point. When I went to write my first paper, it was awful. It was awful. Like my classmates corrected my Chinese paper for me. And they're like, Alyssa, you wrote this like you're writing a text message. And of course I wrote that way. I had never had to write a formal paper in my life. And that took a good 6 months to even get to kind of an acceptable level with written, like formal academic Chinese. So you're going to end up, if you don't have a teacher or someone to correct your language, you're going to end up writing probably at a middle schooler level, maybe even lower, middle school level. That's why you kind of need a teacher. That's one reason you need a teacher. Another reason is talk to humans, talk to people. They're going to push you, they're going to support you. It's great to have, especially with the languages that are even harder. Yeah, Matt versus Japan. Um, he has a course which I do not sell, and I think that's why his Refold group talks a lot of crap about me online because I won't sell his program. So they kind of maybe feel like I'm competition. I'm not competing. We're not competition. I'm not selling a course, but just so you guys know in that group, no need to send your people over on Reddit. The Reddit stuff is I actually opened a Reddit recently if you want to join my Reddit because I was in class the other day and a student of mine said, there's a lot of crap written about you on Reddit." I'm like, "What, like 10 comments?" Well, they see it if you type in Google. So I did open a Reddit. But scarcity mentality. We don't have to, there's enough YouTube and enough Japanese learners to go around for everybody. Why did he stop making YouTube videos? Come on, you don't know that? I made an entire video about that. There was a scandal. 你认为手写还是重要的吗? Wow, that's in 繁体字. You wrote that in traditional characters, what they use in Taiwan. Yes, I can read the traditional characters as well. Do you think that, so he said, do you think that writing by hand is important? Depends on what you want to do. It certainly helps with memorization. So I would write a lot of kanji by hand, or just write the hiragana, katakana by hand, or write pinyin in Chinese. Is it important? Depends on what you want to do. If you live here, you're going to have to write your name and write your address and stuff on paper. It's pretty embarrassing if you've learned Japanese for 10 years or you live over here and you can't write anything, can't fill out a form. That's no good. That'll come back to bite you. But as a person who's studying as a hobby, no. What scandal? You're too out of the loop. That was a few years ago. But something happened. Hunming, would you adopt me? Bob. Yeah, I'll adopt you. Anyway, why I don't recommend Duolingo, told you about that. Here's why I don't give a lot of language learning advice. Well, first of all, my videos are more about entertainment. I don't have to rely on selling some sort of course, which I believe many of the other YouTubers do. They sell some sort of course, and that's what keeps them going. They can't make a living off the ad revenue. I'm more of an entertainer. I'm less here to educate you and more here to entertain you. So I can live off the ad revenue. I don't have to sell a course to you. Yeah, I do have a few recommendations. Other companies' courses that I've used. Pimsleur's one. I'm always talking about that. Japanese Pod 101 and their sister series, Korean Class 101, Chinese Class 101. But I don't have to sell anything to you to keep this channel going. I don't have to sell anything to you to make a living off of YouTube. All I have to do is make the videos. They make enough ad revenue. So, but that's not the case for everyone. And I feel like if you want to get big views on YouTube just talking about language learning, you kind of have to tell people what they want to hear. Hey, you guys, you can just download this app or take my $500 course and you'll get super fluent in whatever language. Totally. No strings attached. You kind of have to become a bit of a snake oil salesman to make a living off of that. But luckily, I make videos that are more entertaining and can make enough off of ad revenue that I don't have to do that. But I feel like you have to be a little bit dishonest. How to learn a language the lazy way. Gosh, that's such a viral title. I keep seeing it. How to learn a language the lazy way. It's telling people what they want to hear. I know you don't want to study hard. I know most people don't want to work hard. How to get abs the lazy way. It's just such bull crap. But it gets views. And that's how you keep your channel going. If you're not making content that's entertaining enough or interesting enough to get enough views to make it on itself. Then you have to sell people something like that. Learn languages the lazy way. Here, learn it through anime only. You'll barely have to work. Sure. Konbanwa Anming Sensei. I'm also learning Japanese. Soon I will become your student once I get a raise. Okay, that's awesome. I'm happy to have you as a student. I don't advertise that a lot. Like I said, I don't really sell a course or a program. That is more for you guys to get to know me. It's just a 30-minute one-on-one talk. And I put a paywall up because, one, it filters out the crazy people, which I've already met, at least one. And two, it makes people actually show up, because if you paid $50 for a session, you're less likely to do a last-minute cancellation. So that's why it's behind a paywall. Make you show up. What advice do you have for Japanese listening practice? I'm finding it difficult to follow along because it's too fast. Well, if you're a very basic beginner, you can do our free Patreon thing. Tommy's doing some audio lessons there. It's not really a course. It's just like supplementary material for you to help you. And it's free. We put 13 lessons up for free. If you're still a beginner, native material is going to be a little over your head. I say, as a rule of thumb, you should understand 60% or more with no subtitles. If you're watching anime or a TV show in whatever language, and you can't even understand 50 or 60%, it is simply too hard for you. You're kind of wasting your time. You should be able to understand a little more. And that's hard when you're a beginner. So you're kind of stuck to learning material before you get that foundation. You're kind of stuck to material that's specifically made for learners. And for Japanese, there's a lot. You'll run out of it eventually. I said I used Japanese Pod 101, but I ran out of their stuff. I ran out of it for Korean. I was kind of sad. But luckily, now I'm at the point in Korean, I can do a little more difficult stuff that's more for natives. And then Scotty said, for the new camera, thanks. Hey, if you guys want me to get a new camera, we will get a new camera. And Salty said, I love your honesty. Yeah, well, I can afford to be honest. I can afford to be honest. Not everybody can afford to be honest. I make enough videos that get enough views that I don't have to sell you a course to make my living. All I have to do is entertain you. And I don't have to tell you what you want to hear. I can tell you the truth. And the truth is, most of those people buy those expensive courses and they don't improve. And the makers of that know it. They know it. And they design the courses to appeal to you as kind of a marketing gig. Same with the apps. Try to turn it into a game, or, switch the sentences around. Even something like LingQ. And I know it has a lot more features than just this, but I heard the sentence switching thing. I mean, you're doing one skill to try to learn how to talk to people. You're switching sentences around in an app so you can talk to people and be like your favorite YouTuber. That's just simply not going to work. You're trying to. It's like you're trying to become a good batter. You want to hit the ball, hit a home run, and all you do is run around the outfield and catch balls. Well, you're not going to get good at hitting if you practice. So what I'm trying to say is it's two different skills. For writing Japanese, is online tutoring with a teacher effective, or would you recommend something else? I also use Genki. I would much rather put a couple $100 into, some 90-minute lessons, 10 or 20 90-minute lessons on italki than pay for a $200-300 course. Of course. Now, one thing I will say is get some foundation before you take a teacher's class. Get a little foundation before that. They don't have a teacher waste your time learning hiragana, katakana, konnichiwa, ohayo gozaimasu. Get that down on your own. Self-introduction. Learn how to say, where is this? Where is that? Learn how to tell time by yourself. All of that. And then 3 to 6 months later, get yourself a teacher. But yeah, I was reading that online too. Lots of people were catching on to that. Find a qualified, experienced native teacher to work with, not some self-advertising celebrity wannabe. It will be cheaper and more effective. True. As in celebrity wannabe, as in YouTuber. We're all celebrity wannabes. No, I don't want to be a celebrity. I actually want to keep my stuff quite private. I appreciate that all my fans live abroad, so not a lot of people recognize me. Hi from Ohio. Thanks for the money for the camera fund. Well, lots of questions. They make money if you don't improve. Well, that's true. Not that they are yeah, well, that's true. Not that they never want you to improve, but they know people are lazy. I think they understand that people say, I want to get fluent in Japanese, but they don't want to put in the work. That's why I don't want to tell you what you want to hear. I want to tell you what you need to hear. That is, 5 minutes a day ain't going to do nothing for your Japanese. Do at least bare minimum 30 minutes a day, 7 days a week. Then we'll start making some progress. Where's Tommy? Where's Tommy? He's upstairs. He's upstairs. Celebrity wannabes. That's kind of funny. Although, some people I really admire and I watch a lot of their videos, and Steve Kaufman is one. Although, yeah, I wouldn't buy Ling Q. I honestly wouldn't. No offense to him, but I honestly would not. I wouldn't use that to learn Cantonese or anything. But I have my own method, right? And I think he's trying to appeal to a mass audience, not as serious of a language learner as I am. Why would I learn Chinese from someone who isn't a native speaker or isn't fluent? For that price, you could get 10 90-minute lessons from some tutors on italki. That's a much better deal, and you'll actually have one-on-one feedback. That's important. That's a cool thing about a teacher with a good tutor. There are a lot of other courses available for $100 or $200 from native speakers, or just take one-on-one lessons. It's a trap for beginners who don't know. These are other people's comments that I read on Reddit. Fair enough. I would agree with that. I would tend to agree with that. What's your goal for 2 million subs? How about what's my plan? How am I going to achieve 2 million subs? Shorts? Maybe we can do it through shorts, because I got 75,000 new subscribers from shorts this month, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Wani Kani, I heard about that for kanji. Kanji just takes a lot of repetition. Kanji is Chinese characters, also known as Hanzi or Hanja in Korean, Hanzi in Chinese, kanji in Japanese. Yeah, that's the hardest part of the language. That's why in the past, Korean and Japanese, I'm talking about before World War II, and shortly after World War II, Chinese and Korean were about the same in difficulty. They have hierarchies, they have formal language, informal language, very difficult. And Korean used to use kanji. When they got rid of kanji, it got substantially easier. And now Japanese is still takes the title for hardest language. And yes, kanji have more readings. That's what makes Japanese kanji more difficult than Chinese kanji. In Chinese, you'll only have 1, maybe 2 readings. You see a character like my name, An Ming. An is safety, Ming is brightness. There's no other way to read that kanji. But in Japanese, An can be read An like Anshin. It could be read Yasui or Yasu like cheap. There are many ways to read that. It doesn't fit kanji well. The Chinese invented it, Japanese took it, and it doesn't fit their language very well. Almost missed it. Well, I'm glad you didn't. Good to be here. Okay, good tips. Trilingual shorts. Yeah, I'm going to make more shorts on YouTube for sure. One thing about the classes, if you have a teacher and they're not speaking to you entirely in your target language, you need to get a new teacher. They are wasting your time. And that's one of the main problems with the college courses for languages is if you're in high school as well. Your teacher is giving you instructions on Japanese. All right, this is how we say this grammar point. Shinjuku eki wa doku desu ka? Doku desu ka? You put des at the end. If they're giving instructions to you like that and 90% of it is English, walk out. Get out of there. You're wasting your time. Maybe as a bare beginner, okay, you'll still learn something, but that is not an efficient way to learn. That is why the Japanese English system, Japanese English education does not work, because they are teaching it in Japanese when they should be teaching English in English. I actually had to talk to my Korean teacher the other day and ask them to stop using so much Japanese in class. How tall are you? 5 foot 5.5. I like to say 5'6", but not that tall. 166 centimeters tall. Not that tall. Pretty average. Shorter than Tommy. Are you into modeling? I don't think so. No, I'm a average, normal, everyday person. Um, you're so funny, man. Have you been to Hong Kong? Did you see my video in Hong Kong? It was really popular. It was one of the most popular ones recent. You seem taller, probably the GoPro because it's like up here. And I do wear heels a lot, so that makes me a little taller, but I'm not that tall. Oh, now I forgot what I was talking about. Probably nothing important. You were asking about memorizing kanji. Oh, and full immersion. I'm 100% committed to full immersion language learning. I think that's the only way that truly works, the only way that truly sees results over a short period of time. You know, your teacher, like my Korean teacher, was speaking way too much Japanese in our class. And I had to ask them, hey, we're 2 years into this. We don't need the Japanese. It helped in the beginning. I appreciate that. The first 6 months, it helped. Now, we probably don't need it. Full immersion or nothing, man. It's very hard in the beginning when you're a beginner, but they can explain things to you with gestures and pictures in a way that will come across that you will understand, especially when you have some foundation. You can simplify just about anything. I can take a person who only knows 1,000 words in English and explain just about anything to them without using their native language. And that's how you know you have a good teacher, when they do that. If you're in a college class, your teacher's just going on and on about Japanese and telling it to you in English, get out. It's kind of a waste of time. It's kind of a waste of time. You need to be spoken to in Japanese. You need to be hearing that, constantly reinforcing words that you already knew. And it just, full immersion or nothing. That's all I have to say about that. The grammar structure, sentence structure are similar. In Chinese and Japanese, symbols, characters are. The grammar structure is completely different. Japanese and Korean have a similar grammar structure. So I've heard a lot of YouTubers also talking about the benefits of reading. Obviously, I love reading. I told you I read 75 books in Chinese, 70 in Japanese. My goal is 100 for each. I love reading. It's not great advice for a beginner. Maybe if you're learning Spanish, French, Italian, Romanian, Danish, get a book. Start there. Start reading. Not doesn't really work for Japanese very well. Thanks for the super chat. We'll put that towards the camera fund so I can get a better camera for the next live stream. Why doesn't it work well for Japanese? Well, I will tell you. How much immersion, though? How many hours a day? The goal is 2,200 hours for Japanese, not a day. There's only so many days. That's going to equate to about 25 hours a week, 4 hours a day, if you want to get to N1 level in about 2.5 to 3 years. That's very fast. Very fast. It's not fast for Spanish. It's fast for Japanese. That would take about 3 to 4 hours a day. My goal is 3 to 4 hours a day, but that's extreme. You better quit your job if you're going to do that, or just sacrifice all your spare time. So you could probably, put that on a longer span of time and say, okay, maybe it's not realistic to get to N1 level in 2.5 or 3 years for Japanese. Maybe I don't have that much time. Let's do 3 or 4 years. We'll do about half. So I can't do 3 or 4 hours a day. Let's do 1 or 2. About 4 years is about how much it'll take you, how long it will take you. 2 hours a day for 3 years with Chinese, and I hit mid B. Okay. There's someone who's actually doing it. It took me 2.5 years to learn Chinese, but I was studying at the speed of light, and I made so many sacrifices to do that. I basically didn't go out with anyone that spoke English. I had to section myself off. Sorry, can't go to the bar with you. Sorry, can't have American friends. Chinese only. Sorry, I'm trying to do a thing. But I did 4 hours a day. I did 4 hours a day for 2.5 or 3 years, and that's how I did that. That's kind of extreme. I was single, unmarried, 22 years old, didn't even work quite 40 hours a week, maybe 30 hours a week, and that's how I did that. Zachary, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Camera fund. I was taken back. Like somebody donated $100 last time. Johnny, thank you, Johnny, for the last week's live stream. That was super generous. I'm not used to that. I'm not used to that at all. But I don't ask for many donations. Like I told you, I don't have to sell you much. I don't have to rely on selling a course. I don't have to rely on donations because I entertain you enough that I could live off the ad revenue. So I can be completely 100% honest because I can be, because I can afford to do that. Just got to keep getting the views, right? But what I don't want to do is give language learning advice to get a lot of views and just tell you stuff that you want to hear. How to learn languages the lazy way. Yeah, how to fail. Might as well just teach you how to fail. I don't want to talk like that. That's reinforcing bad habits. Could I aim for 20 minutes full immersion a day, 5 times a day? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It doesn't have to be all at once. 20 minutes, 5 times a day is great. You can do that 7 days a week too. You'll make leaps and bounds of progress. And yeah, you can study even with ADD, even with dyslexia, even with a lot of learning abilities, learning disabilities. Learn Japanese while sleeping. That's stupid. That's stupid. Oh my gosh. Or yeah, I just don't want to get into that. I feel like if I did language learning advice videos, my advice would fall on deaf ears. What am I going to tell you? What am I really going to tell you that's so groundbreaking? Here's my secret method that got me fluent in Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and now working on Cantonese. Here's my secret method. There's no secret method. I spend a lot of time on it. A lot of time. I sacrifice a lot of time, and I'm very focused too. Like my hour or two, actually, I go for 3 or 4 hours a day is my goal. It is very focused. The least focused would be when I'm watching a show on TV in Japanese, then the most focused, maybe reading a book or like actually memorizing words and writing it out. But like I said, here's my graph again. I did 65 hours this month, which is bad for me. My goal is 100. The closest I got to that goal so far is 90. 90 is pretty good. That's like 3 hours a day. But I'm mixing it between multiple languages. So I should probably focus more on Korean and Cantonese if I really want to start making some serious videos in Korean and Cantonese. We love your channel. You are inspiring. Can you give a shout out to my wife, Christy? Okay, Christy, this is a shout out to you. And Mark, who is in the chat too, said we got 500 likes. Yeah, please press the like button. I'd appreciate that very much. And I'm curious, in the future, should I do more live streams? We're continuing on. Tommy's going to come back and join us again, but do you like this? Do you enjoy it? I see 425 people in the chat. Seems like a lot to me, but we do have 1 million subscribers, so maybe that's not proportionally, that's not a whole lot. Digging into the live stream. Welcome. Oh, digging the live stream. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Good. Somebody does. All right, going back into the language learning advice. I said don't do books. Yeah, for Spanish, that's going to be fantastic. For any European language, that's going to be fantastic. Books as a beginner. You'll learn a lot. It's gonna knock you over the side of the head with Chinese, Japanese, Korean. It's gonna put the hammer on your head. It's way too hard to go just straight into books. I know some YouTubers like Ollie Richards does this, learn stories and languages. Yeah, don't do that for Japanese. Yeah, it probably works well for Spanish. I'm not even saying, I haven't looked at the books. I'm not even saying they're bad or good or bad. I'm just saying as a beginner with Japanese or Korean or Chinese, that's not a great place to start. That would work better for any other language that's not, level 5 difficulty. They rank languages. The CIA ranks them. Ranking 1, I'll just bring it up real quick. Ranking 1, yeah, you can use a book for Danish. What else do we have? Spanish, Level 1 languages, they will take you 600 to 750 classroom hours. This is what I'm looking at right now. 600 to 750 classroom hours. That would be good for a book. That would work well for a book. What a lovely couple you make. Why not start a new channel to learn Japanese? People already do that. They have so many channels like that. And I'm an entertainer at heart. And I feel like my advice would fall on deaf ears. Not a lot of people are going to want to do the hard work. I understand that. I'm not even criticizing you for it, because why do you want to do this 3-4 hours a day? You have to really want it. And it's going to be a rare group of people. So I prefer to just entertain you. Although maybe I'll do some language learning videos. Maybe, as long as it doesn't fall on deaf ears, as I feel like it would, because I'm just going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth is there's a secret method. You don't study enough. Secret method. Study harder. Study longer. There we go. We're going to end this video here. That would be about it. What am I going to tell you that's so eye-opening? Hey, Tommy's back.
Hey.
Detroit Lions. Yeah, represent. Jets in the Super Bowl. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, so we appreciate that. Even though the Lions they don't have a great reputation. Jacob, thanks for the
Thank you.
Super chat. Yeah, longtime follower. Nice to have you here. I appreciate that. Hola. And then somebody said hola. Cliff's Cuts, $2. How did it work with LTL? Oh, would you do it again? I enjoyed that. LTL was the homestay in Korea. I went to Korea for 1 month to stay with a host family, and the company's name was LTL. I thought it was good. It was good. Very expensive. If I were not a YouTuber, would I do that? If I had a lot of money, maybe. But of course, I was there to make videos, so I got my money back. Tommy!
Hi.
You did a homestay.
Yeah, once.
Where?
In Australia.
How
Brisbane.
was it?
It was awesome to it was the first time to stay in overseas.
How long?
3 weeks.
Was it 3 weeks?
Yeah.
I did 1 month. Did your English improve?
No, not so much. Even I went to the English school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a lot of time.
Yeah.
Tim Hortons in Detroit, Michigan. There you go.
Same city.
Detroit, Michigan. David.
Ohio.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
David
David sent $1. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. Camera fund. Every dollar helps. Every dollar helps. No, Kevin, don't leave us. No. I love how you guys call me Pearl. Some people thought that was my name. That's an old lady name. What's my name?
Name?
What's my name?
I mean.
Oh, yeah, my channel name.
Yeah.
What's my real name?
Tell me
What's your real name? Don't tell them. Tommy's keeping his privacy. All right, my real name is Alyssa. Oh, wow. Thank you for the super chat. Xiaoma, you're going to have to give me more than $10 to talk about other YouTubers, especially other YouTubers that have a channel that's 6 times bigger than mine. I've never met him. Never came across him. Okay. You're going to have to give a little more to the camera fund if you want me to talk about other YouTubers. That's some risky territory. Okay. Timmy's Canada proud. Tim Hortons. What is Tommy's Japanese name? Probably going to keep that private. I don't know. It's come up in the channel a few times. If you're really good at Japanese, you can hear people say it, but you would have had to watch all my videos to catch that. Hey, go back and watch all my videos. If you can figure out Tommy's name, I would be incredibly impressed. You'd have to watch them all and not skip them. There's your challenge. All right, fine. Figure out Tommy's name, because it came up in several videos and I didn't cut it out, but I also didn't translate it. You're going to have to be really, really, I don't know, really good at this. How much time do you want to spend? His real name isn't Tommy? Is your real name Tommy?
Nickname.
Nickname, yeah. He picked it out, which is rare. こんばんは。何時ですか?
何時ですか?今、10時です。
Challenge accepted. Yeah, I know. I try not to challenge people because there are people that can find these kinds of things, this information. Here, go ahead. セクシュアル社長トミー。
超びっくりな私。男神。
Sam is trolling us. Sam is a friend of mine. How do you learn when you are forgetful? Everybody's forgetful. I love that. When I was a language learner and students would tell me the same thing, I just can't memorize the words. You know, I see them one time and then I forget them. Yeah, I bet. So does everybody. You're not special. You're not special. Everybody has that problem.
Yeah.
I have that problem.
How to remember on same time?
How do you
several languages? Korean,
Oh.
Cantonese, Japanese,
You have to
Chinese as well.
You have to get
Mandarin.
You don't do that all at once. You don't say one day, okay, I'm going to learn all these 1 hour of Korean, 30 minutes of Cantonese, 30 minutes of Japanese. You don't do that until you are already fluent in them. I did them one at a time. Now I can study them together because I have found a strong foundation, but that takes many years. Difficult question. Is it least difficult to work in Japan from a USA company transferring or apply for a work visa alone? Both is hard. Getting your company to transfer you is way easier. Hey, we love Tommy and Alyssa. You're not special. You're not special. Everybody has the same problems. You think I look at a word one time and I memorize it? Maybe now with Japanese after 10 years. Yes, it has been almost 10 years.
Yeah.
I started learning Japanese in 2015. So 9 years. Yes, now I can look at a word one time and memorize it. But in the beginning, heck no. There's things I'd look at like 10 times. I still couldn't get it down. That's why you make flashcards. That's why you get a full immersion environment where you're constantly getting those words reinforced. Oh, I've heard that. I hear it again. Repetition. Yeah. I can't memorize the words. Yeah, no, you're not trying hard enough. Put more hours into it. 100 hours a month. Try that. It's like being
hours.
Yeah, that's what I do right now.
3 or 4 hours in the day.
Yeah. How old are you? We answered that one. 25 years old. I knew it. Fake name.
Fake name. Yeah, same question when I was in Detroit.
What's your real name? They asked him. We went to inner city Detroit and we talked to a guy and Tommy said, "Hi, I'm Tommy." He said, "No, what's your real name?" What's your Asian name?
I used my nickname over 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats on 1.1 million. That's amazing, isn't it? You know, it took a year to get 100,000 subs, and we just got another 100,000 in a mere 3 months. Actually, more like in 1 month. Crazy. Progress on YouTube is not linear. It's not like, 10,000 here, 10,000 there. It's a curve. It's just you grow slow and then boom, grow fast. What language do you think in? What language do you think in?
Do I want to?
No, your thoughts.
Japanese in English.
頭の中は日本語か英語か?
Yeah, from Japanese and English.
All the time?
Yeah.
I would say I think in English when I'm speaking in English, and I think in other languages when I'm using them. Yeah. And when I'm just not really thinking at all or not speaking, when I'm not speaking and I'm just by the house doing chores or whatever, my default is English for sure. Definitely English. Thank you for the super chat. Love your channel. Thank you, Carol. We're going to put that towards the new camera fund because, some people love to complain about the free entertainment. We don't think in language. That's what I don't care what Matt says. I really don't care. Well, we did a video together, but I think he views me as competition because I won't sell his product. Come on, man. You could do your own thing. I do my own thing too. We don't have to compete with each other. We could be friendly, or work together, you know. Do you and Tommy converse mostly in English or Japanese?
Mostly Japanese.
Yeah, that's true. But recently I started using more English because he wants to practice.
Yeah.
Which state am I from?
Michigan.
Yeah. Tommy went to Michigan. Which cameras? They want me to buy a new webcam so we can do more of these live streams. Hey, this one's going a lot better than the last one. The camera only froze twice. But anyway, about the YouTube stuff. Yeah, YouTube is highly competitive. I know you guys only see the surface level of this stuff, but I think there's enough Japan and enough language learning viewers to go around for everybody, and we don't need to compete with each other. There's a little competition like in the algorithm, but not that intense. We can work together too. 你在中国上过学吗? Of course, I told you my MB or my master's program was in China. He asked, "Did you study in China?" Yeah, I got my master's there and 6 months at Waseda University in Japan. I'm from Chicago. Chicago's in the house.
Chicago.
Tommy's favorite city
Yeah.
is Chicago.
My favorite. Yeah.
Why do you like Chicago?
Atmosphere.
Mhm. Wow,
And
YouTube drama.
climate.
YouTube drama, it's not really drama. You know, you guys got to understand this isn't just a hobby. People making their living and quitting their jobs to do that, this thing. And yeah, it gets a little intense, but YouTube also keeps us on our toes. It's not fun and games. I've been in the YouTube partner manager program where I have a contact at YouTube. I've been kicked out. I've been brought back in again. Like, they don't mess around. They're performance based. It's like, you need to meet these numbers or sayonara KPI.
KPI.
Yeah, like, are you getting enough views? Are you getting enough ad revenue? If not, see you later. We're not taking you seriously. So it's not fun and games. So you can tell, I mean, how it's not drama. It's just, this is serious business. Love your channel. Okay, why do you think no people think you are Russian? Or why do you think people think you? Do I look Russian?
No, I don't know why. Yeah, many questions from Japanese people.
Yeah,
as well.
You wear a lot of skirts. Somebody said, yeah, for the last probably 10 years, I've worn a skirt almost every day. I don't know why. Because it's warm here. I don't know. Just, I think they look flattering. I'm learning Japanese. Well, you should contact teacher Tommy.
Yeah.
He just made some more lessons. We put them up last night. You sound American. Tommy? Does Tommy sound American? Are you Russian? Yeah. Why not? Sure. I have a little bit of Ukrainian blood. Thanks for the live chat. Super happy. I appreciate that. Aiko-san, Fujita-san. Thank you.
Thank you.
You saw my comment. Yes, I did. I see them all right now. I'm trying to keep up. There's a lot. Oh my gosh. It's overwhelming. Anyway, yeah, YouTube is not fun and games. I had a completely different path set up for myself. I actually wanted to be a diplomat. I wanted to be a diplomat between China and America. I wanted to live in China. I wanted to work for the US government. And now I'm a YouTuber. What happened?
Different.
What happened? No, not what happened. Good things happen. You know, they would never pay me what you can make on YouTube. But my point is, I gave up all my entire plan to do this. So yeah, this is some serious stuff, and people don't mess around. People don't mess around. It's not games, and it's not just for fun. Like, you make big sacrifices to do this. And yes, I did want to be a diplomat, and life happens. It was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And that's how I met Tommy too.
Yeah.
Here in
what
Japan.
Does it mean life happens?
It's like, しょうがないな。
Oh.
人生はそんなもんだ。
Life goes on.
Yeah, because they're saying, oh, you didn't become a diplomat, which was your dream. Yeah, why do you think I studied Chinese so seriously? I wanted to be a U.S. diplomat. I wanted to either work for the U.S. government or just the U.S. embassy, whatever. I had looked into the CIA program. I know a lot of people want to make jokes that I'm a spy, either for America or Chinese spy. But it's probably a lot more fun to be a YouTuber. And if this keeps up if it keeps going, then this was totally worth it. I could always go back into working a corporate job. Probably not going to be able to be a diplomat anymore. But stroke of luck, that's right. Our moderator, Usha, who I really appreciate being here. The YouTube thing totally changed my path for the better. I'm having more fun and making more money than I ever would in my entire life working for any company. And yeah, I like it. All right. Yes, YouTube is much better, certainly, as long as it keeps going. And every time I go home, my dad's like, how long do you think this is going to last? I understand you're doing well now, but do you think this is going to continue for the next 5 years? Do you have a plan B if it dries up? Yes, I do.
Hey,
I can always go back to working in corporate. Probably not ever going to be a manager, but don't let the haters bring you down. I tend not to. I feel like I have very few haters for the reach of this channel. You know, pretty standard. You got to expect. I'm getting paid to have a few tomatoes thrown at me. That's part of the job. Double agent.
Double agent.
What is Tommy's secret job? Tommy's the spy. Tommy's the spy. Tommy looks like the Beatles member. Yes. He got a haircut.
Yeah.
I call it Kinoko Atama. Kinoko Atama. Tommy got a haircut. Tommy, do you want to tell anyone anything?
Yeah. Thank you for attending.
That's all?
Yeah, joining the live.
Anything else?
Yeah. It's if you want learn Japanese, please contact our channel.
And I would honestly like to know, should we do more live chats? I would love to do more if you show up. In the past, it hasn't been so great. I didn't feel like you guys really wanted to hear what I had to say, unfortunately. I just thought it was entertainment. Show me the funny faces. Ha ha. I mean, when I walk down the street, people will say, hey, aren't you that? I have especially foreigners here come up and say, I've seen your channel. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah. They can't even think of the name. They don't even know what the channel name is, let alone my name. So I'm like, people are just watching for the topic. I do not have a cult following, but maybe some of you are interested in us.
Yeah.
They like us for us. You like me for me? Maybe. How do I learn kanji faster? Spend an hour on it a day is how you learn it faster. I used to do 2 pages of paper front and back every day. Wrote it out by hand. The romaji pronunciation, or hiragana and then the kanji, or with Chinese pinyin and then the kanji. 2 pieces of paper every day, front and back. Do that for a year straight and you will be really good. You will make leaps and bounds of progress. Usha said, press the like button if you want more live streams. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want a better camera for the live streams, like Cody does, then please send a super chat. We'll get a better camera. Cody said, does Tommy have a day job? What's your job? What's your job?
Tech job. Tech. Working for tech company.
Tommy is a senior manager. Tommy is a boss.
That's the boss.
Tommy is a high-earning Japanese salary man. Not to compliment my own husband, but he's pretty awesome. He's pretty good at his job. Like, he makes double the average salary in Japan. He's boss.
Yes. Asian boss.
And I have no title and no status whatsoever in Japan. Technically, I'm a nobody here. 東京芸術大学に勉強したいめたにデザイン。勉強したいためにデザイン。OK。でも、お金っていません。お金がありません。17歳です。
留学生のための奨学金がいっぱいあるんじゃない？大学によって。
あるけど、もらえるかどうかちょっとわかんないけど、何をします？何した方がいいですか？お願いします。多分、貯金した方がいいかもしれないね。貯金、アルバイトとか、get a part-time job, save some money because you're not guaranteed a scholarship. I Yeah, in China. Okay, go to China instead because they offer full rides to anyone who can speak fluent Chinese and pass HSK 6. You can get a full ride in China. You can't easily get a full ride in Japan. Yeah, we said Tommy has a day job. Yes, he does. Tommy is a senior manager, and I'm a nobody. I'm a YouTuber. I have no status, but at least I make good money. Yeah, and Tommy, as you can see from our house video, Tommy's
Yeah.
OnlyFans has been extremely successful.
No,
We are living
OnlyFans.
a life of glamour thanks to Tommy's OnlyFans.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're welcome. You got to contribute to this household.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job. Does Tommy speak Chinese?
No.
Although he used to
Only
work.
name.
Only name.
Yeah.
But don't tell him. Why? What? OnlyFans? Yes. No, it's a joke. It's a joke. It's our running joke. Yes, Tommy is bringing in $220,000 to $30,000 a month in on OnlyFans. We're living way below our means.
To be honest, I learned at a Chinese school in Tokyo, in
Yeah.
Ikebukuro. Wasted time.
Did they use Japanese or use Chinese only?
Japanese and Chinese.
That was a problem.
Yeah.
They should have done full immersion. And you
Yeah.
should have gone more than once a week. That was also
Yeah.
a problem. You got to go more than once a week. That's not going to cut it. I had so many students that would come to my English class once a week, maybe
Same.
maybe
Yeah.
3 times a month. Yeah, they didn't improve and they didn't study on their own. What are your hobbies? Violin. Hey, I got a goal to do 30 minutes of this a day. I've been playing since I was 18 years old, and it's just like language learning. If you don't practice, don't expect to get good. In fact, if you don't practice, you're going to lose some. You got to keep it up. Lots of maintenance. All right, a few more questions here. Asian male, white female for life. That's so funny. Yeah, I would buy Tommy feet pics. Ashi no shashin kaitai.
Why? Why?
Tommy's fans.
Thank you.
Don't ask why, just take the money. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah.
Why are you
Yeah,
asking
it's
why?
okay, it's okay.
Doesn't matter why.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. 40 hours of practice. Hey, if I did 40 hours of practice on the violin, Where can I get Japanese lessons? We have 13 free lessons on our Patreon right now if you want to check that out. Patreon.com, Oriental Pearl. Those are for free. We're kind of testing them out. So the first 13 are free. Try it. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. And if you want to support our channel and we'll get better equipment, like a better webcam, then yeah, by all means, can you play the violin? All right. Not this live stream, but another live stream. I will play the violin for you guys. But
listen too.
You should play too.
Oh, yeah.
You can't play. I'll
No.
teach you. Are you really good at the violin? I wouldn't say I'm really good. I'm really good at drawing. I got to start drawing again, show you guys my drawings. But anyway, we got to go, folks. I'm going to go to a party today for my friends. So we appreciate you showing up. Thank you so much. Thank you, Spike. I just saw Spike. Thanks, Dread. Thanks, Spike. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, everybody who's here. Thanks, Philly. All my American friends out there. Everyone from around the world that joined us today, thank you. We'd like to do another one. Maybe not next weekend, but perhaps the weekend after. Thanks, Star Dreamer. Thanks, everybody that came here. Please give this a like. Enjoy our house tour video. Maybe it will perform a little better in the algorithm now that I changed the thumbnail. You guys do not even see all this behind the scenes stuff. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. I change the thumbnail sometimes 6 times, and there's one comment that stuck out to me the other day. Thanks, Don, for the super chat for the camera. I appreciate that. Somebody said, because I made a spelling mistake in the title after I changed it for the 5th time, somebody said, "You speak English, do better." I was like, man, people be hate watching. They just hate watching. But yeah, I changed the thumbnail and title a lot. You guys don't even probably notice. I'm hustling. I don't have a cult-like following. I got to work really hard. Got to work on the topic. Happy Easter. Yes, happy Easter to everybody.
Happy
And
Easter.
we'll see you again
Thank you.
soon. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.